السلام عليكم، كيفكم يا شباب؟ إن شاء الله تمام. هذا فيديو خاص لطلابي الأعزاء. هلا أنا اقترحت إنه أعمل هذا الفيديو تجاوبا مع بعض الطلاب اللي حابين وحسيتهم مهتمين بس لسه عن جد مش فاهمين المادة. فالفيديو حيحكي عن هو motion in one direction. هلا الطلاب كان عندهم مشكلة في فهم ال equations. The first thing is راح أعمل split للصفحة. عندي هنا horizontal يعني هذا الأوبجكت رايح right or left. بناء عليها عندي القوانين الآتية: delta x is equal half times v initial plus v final times delta t. حكينا v initial it's something I start with, v final something I end up with always. This is the first equation. The second equation, v final is equal v initial plus at. The third equation, v final square is equal v initial square plus 2a delta x. And the fourth equation is delta x is equal v initial t plus half at square. Okay, this is if I'm talking about horizontal. Let's talk about vertical. Vertical means when an object moves up or what? Down. Fine. The equation is going to be the same. The first one, delta y is equal to half times v initial plus v final times delta t. Of course, if I know the acceleration on all of this, okay, fine, okay. And let's say I will not use the first one in general cases in the vertical عشان ما نفوت بعمق ما لناش دعوة فيه. بس اللي بهمني عندي خلينا نعمل 1 بس جديدة اللي هي v final is equal v initial minus gt. G always بالvertical 9.81 and I put negative because I said to avoid the conflict of signs. تمام. Question 2, part 2, which is v final square is equal v initial square minus 2g delta y. And the third one in the vertical, which is delta y is equal v initial t minus half gt square. Now let's do an application where to use this and where to use that. First of all, let's talk about horizontal part. أستاذ أعطينا example على v final is equal v initial plus at. Okay. Let's say an object start from rest and it moves, okay, with a time in 5 seconds, okay, and has an acceleration is equal to 3 meter per second square. So what is the v final? So of course I'm going to choose this because I have the v initial, which is 0 because the body start at rest, and I have acceleration and then I have what time. So in this case v final is equal v initial 0 plus 3 times what's the time? 5. That's equal 15 meter per second. This is my final speed. That easy? That easy. Another application is using the same equation. Okay. Let's say this is case 1. يعني مثال. Let's go about case 2. Same equation, which is v final is equal v initial plus at. Let's say an object also moving with a v initial is equal 100 meter per second. and this body will stop after 10 seconds. Find the acceleration. Okay, the body will stop معناته الجسم راح يتحرك will move then at the end ايش stop. لما نحكي stop معناته v final is equal 0, v initial is equal 100, acceleration I don't know, the time is equal at dash 10 seconds. So okay, so in the place of v final 0, v initial 100 plus the acceleration times what? What's the time? 10. So in this case, negative 100 is equal a times 10. So acceleration is equal negative 100 over 10, that's equal negative 10 meter per second square. In this case, it's negative. معناته yes, since the body will stop معناته صار اسمها ايش؟ deceleration, decelerate. Okay, fine. This is using equation 1, which is which part يا أستاذ? This one. Okay, now let's use the other equations. The equations that I don't depend on time, which is v final square equal v initial square plus 2a delta x. Okay, an object moves with 100 meter per second with an acceleration is equal أو deceleration مثلا نحكي أو acceleration yes ما عنديش مشكلة, acceleration of 3 meter per second square. Okay, and this body will move a displacement that is equal 2000 meter. So what's my v final? Okay, v final square that is equal v initial, which is how much? 100 plus 2, what's the acceleration? 3 and what's the displacement? Times how much? 2000. After this, because this is a square, so v final is equal square root, okay, 100 plus 2 times the acceleration times 2000. خلصنا. Why? Because if I want to get the v final in this equation, that's going to be square root, just because square root both sides, because this v final is squared. V initial square plus 2a delta x. This is case 1. Now, let's do case 2. Okay? Case 2, let's say a body start with the initial I don't know, and at the end it stops. At the end it stopped. Okay, the body move with deceleration, which is equal to negative 3 meter per second, and a displacement which is equal to 1000 meter. Find v initial. So in this case I know that v final square is equal to v initial square plus a 2a delta x. Okay, since it's deceleration, okay, v final, since it's stop, this is 0. I want to find v initial square and plus 2 times what's the acceleration? Negative 3 times delta x, which is how much? 1000. Don't mix, we are talking about horizontal movement, which is, this is part 2 of the lesson, section 2.2. okay, in this case v initial square shifted to the left, going to be negative, that's going to be 2 times negative 3, negative 6, negative 6000. So negative goes with negative, so v initial is equal square root of what? 6000. The answer will be meter per second. Okay, fine. So I just put two examples on equation 1, two examples on equation 2, okay, which actually I don't care about this part because this one is very easy. So my main concern, this one, and I will give you two examples on the third one. Tomorrow, inshallah, I will send another video for explaining the vertical part. So now the third part, which is delta x is equal v initial t plus half a t square. In this case, I don't care about the v final. I care about the acceleration time and delta x. Okay, fine. Let's say a ball is moving. It was at rest and it accelerates with a is equal 3 meter per second square. Okay. And it moves also a delta x like 1000. How long does it going to take to reach the goal? Okay, so I understand that like I have delta x, I have acceleration, and I will start at rest. Okay, so that's going to be delta x, which is equal 1000 v initial, start from 0, plus half times 3 times what? T square. So that's going to be 1000 is equal 3 over 2 t square. Cross multiplication 2, okay. You can multiply by 2 over 3, 2 over 3. That's going to be 2000 t square is equal 2000 over 3. Then t is equal square root 2000 over 3. You can write that, of course. Okay. One more. Let's say if an object start with a v initial equal 10 and accelerate for like 5 meter per second with time 10 seconds as an example, what is the displacement? So delta x in this case, that's going to be v initial, which is how much? 10 plus خلينا نكتب الرول أول أحسن. delta x is equal v initial t plus half a t square. So delta x in this case, that's going to be v initial, which is 10, times the time, which is 10, plus half times the acceleration, which is 5, times the time, which is what? 10 square. You just plug it in the calculator and you can find the answer. Of course, the answer is going to be in what? In meter, because I'm finding what? The displacement. خلينا نعمل آخر إشي لليوم وبكرة ببعث لكم النسخة الثانية إن شاء الله. Let's take this. طيب، هذا السؤال اللي عادت 2:15 أعمله لطلابي، بس بسيطة مش قصة. باب خوبلام. طيب، a person pushing a stroller, okay, starts from rest. واضح 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 إنه الحق اللي هنا ده، بس والله أشوف. يلا يا حبيبي، ليه كده بس؟ كده بس، كده بس، خلاص يا عم النينجا. اوكي، بدي لون ابيض دون. اوكي، rest يعني هاي v initial equal 0. طيب، uniformly accelerating at rate معناته عطاني acceleration. هاي acceleration. What is the velocity of the stroller after it has traveled 4.5 meter? طيب، انا هون بدي احط شغلة عشان اكون انا عارف قدام عيني. يلا يا عم النينجا، هلا عطاني لو تشوفوا v initial equal 0 acceleration is equal ايش يا جماعة؟ 0.5. وقال لي دلتا اكس 4.75 وبده مين؟ بده التايم. مين الايكويجن اللي بتلم هدول الأربعة؟ واضحة، دلتا اكس is equal ايش؟ v initial t plus half AT square. دلتا x كم؟ أعطاني إياها 4.75. والفي initial قد إيه يا جماعة؟ starting from what? Starting from rest. So this will be cancelled. Bye bye, 0. Plus half times what's the acceleration? يلا 0.5. and that's equal t square. طب استاذ انت على اي اساس قررت؟ لانه انا من كتر ما تمرست بايدي بالاسئله خلص عرفت انه هاي المساله راح تلم هدول الاربعه البارامترز. حدا جاب سيره الفي فاينل فاكيد ما راح احتاج الفي فاينل، فراح احتاج الايكويشن رقم 4. تمام. so in this case تمام. so 4.75 is equal 0.25 t square. طبعا هنا t square is equal algebra 1 4.75 over 0.25. so t is equal square root 4.75 over 0.25, and that the answer going to be in second. Thank you very much for watching. Wait me tomorrow inshallah. I'm going to send you the video for the vertical equations, which is the second part. عشان ما حد يتلخبط, we were talking today about this part. Tomorrow راح نحكي عن هذا البارت. Thank you very much for watching.